Previously on Chat 62.
Was there a moment that tested you mentally more than physically?
I think it was the mental strain of just not knowing, if it may be your time coming up. To me, I tell people, it's like, you ever played a game, Minesweeper? It's like that over there. Like, you're just missing spots. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how many times we've walked over or around or by IEDs that we didn't know were there. Who knows? I don't even want to think about it, honestly.
Right.
I really wouldn't care to know. I mean, as a matter of fact, one of the main roads it was Route Nova. I think one night there was a clearing team that was going up and down these roads, and when we came out the main gate of the house that we were in the first time when we first got there, there was a road that went like around the corner of the house and then straight down like this, and up and down that road, it was called Route Nova. It was terrible for IEDs, horrible. They had one of the mine sweeping units out there. I don't know if they were, I can't remember who they were. I think it was engineers or something like that. They were out there clearing, and they cleared something like up to like 35, some shit, like IEDs.
In one night?
In one, yeah, one op, yeah. And then the next day they found like just as many more, on the same road, dude. And I was like, dude, this is insane.
Real quick before we start, we've streamlined our contact info. From now on, if you have any questions, feedback, or ideas for future guests, just shoot us an email at chat62podcast@gmail.com. All right, let's fucking go.
You mentioned you did 2 tours in Iraq. When did the second tour happen?
And then we worked up for about another 7 months, I want to say. So we left in April for the second one. Yeah, April to November of 2008 was that second one. And that one, man, it was like night and day. Nothing like the first one.
I was about to ask you what the difference was between the first deployment and the second.
It was crazy. The second one, and we started noticing it, towards the end of our first tour, there was a shift. There was a pretty significant shift from the more kinetic stuff to now it's like, all right, it's more like hearts and minds kind of stuff now. That second tour, that's like what it was all about, At 3-6, we lost a few guys over there on that second tour. Nobody from our platoon this time, but it was still dangerous. It was still a dangerous area, but it was nothing. It was nothing like it was, just a few months prior in 2007. We worked pretty much the same AO. We actually went back to where his family was.
Okay.
On that second tour, we happened to be around the area. It was like, man, you want to go stop by our old BP Silver? So yeah, let's go stop by, see what's up with it. Of course, the family was already moved in well, before then, but they let us in, and we went around, looked at some of the shit that was there, and we're like, oh yeah, you remember this part of the house, that part of the house, and yeah, it was pretty cool. But that second tour was it was way more like stabilization and like trying to win the hearts and minds of the civilians there.
Was there anything else that stood out during that second deployment?
Not really. I'd say afterwards. So we had guys. I think the reason why it became so much more stable is because we had some guys that were militia from the first tour, and then of course it just grew from there. They were up on the streets, on the roads, and they were manning these little tiny shack outposts made of wood and all that. They had their AKs, and they were wearing masks and all that stuff. They were turning over a new leaf, essentially. The Anbar Awakening was going on, and
okay.
These guys were fighting against Al Qaeda. Well, one of the heads of the militia that was working in the neighborhood right next to us on that second tour, his name is, we gave him English names, and Jackson is his name. He was really good. He was shit hot. He later on, so after the deployment, I got a message from him on Facebook, and he asked me if I could vouch for him to seek asylum in, I believe it was Germany at the time. Because what happened after we left, that BP that we were staying at was demilitarized. That's when ISIS rolled in. ISIS rolled in and was rounding up people and just executing them. As soon as we left, he's like, man, as soon as you guys took off, it just all went downhill, man. It's like ISIS came in, a lot of the former, guys that were running around with Al Qaeda, they came in, and it was insane. It was just madness. They were rounding people up they thought were working with us during that time, and just execute, no questions asked, just executing them. And he's like, I had to get out. I had to get us all, of my family and everything. I had to get us all out. So I wrote a statement to the powers that be, for him to let him get that asylum over there in Germany. Fast forward now, he's great. He's thriving. He's back in his native Jordan, I think. So he's doing well. A couple of guys, interpreters as well, I think, that they needed the same kind of recommendations and stuff from us. I did that for one of the Terps that was in Afghanistan. I never went to Afghanistan, but he reached out because he knew I was with 3-6, and he was with 3-6 during those deployments. So did another one with him. He's thriving as well here in the States. So it's good stuff, man.
It's amazing. Your second tour is up with Iraq. Now you're coming back home to 3-6. What's that like? What's that last year in the Corps? Because you said you came back from the second tour in November 2008. You got out November 2009. What's that last year in the Corps like for you?
Yeah, so the that last year, maybe when was that? November. Oh wait, we got back. So in December, I learned that the guys that weren't staying in, who weren't re-enlisting, we were slated to get FAP'd out. Go out to your fleet assistance platoons or program, whatever the acronym is, I forget now. But so we got those orders, man. A lot of us had went to the same place as S4 shop on Camp Geiger. Dude, that was a blast because it was like it was heavy as hell because it was so far removed from the infantry life. Like it was, we were like, man, is this how the Pogues live like every day? But we were waking up at like 07. The staff sergeant that was in charge, he's like, yeah, everybody just meet up here at this time here at the shop, and I guess we'll find out what we got to do for the day and all that. It's like, oh shit, really? So we're not up before the sun. It's like, no, just you PT on your own, get an hour and a half, 2 hours of lunch. It's like, damn, okay, so we'll go hit the damn gym. So we all got big. We all got really big in S4 and actually randomly drug tested all of us. This was fun.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because they had a gym with free weights there, and as well as the barracks that I stayed in on Geiger. There was of course the base gym was right there, and I was always there every day. That was it, man. It was dull and uninspiring, but it was fun at the same time. It was a memorable time because we got there in January, and then from January until like August, I was there, and somehow, we experienced like all 4 seasons. That's one thing I remember the most is that we had like snow, we had heat, and then we had beautiful weather, and it was all in a span of like 7 or 8 months. I was like, this is why. Like I think about it today, I'm like, how the hell did we fit all that just so much into like just 7-8 months, man? It's crazy. Yeah, it was.
That's Mother Nature for you.
Yeah, man, up there in the Carolinas, you get by that water. Yeah, it was cool, man. It was it was more, actually it was more memories, but yeah, that's also I think when I started to feel the weight of shit, I'm about to be a civilian again.
Did you know at that time, or when did you know at that time, if this is it, it's one enlistment and done, and that's it, I'm going to get out?
Yeah, so I was at Heroes, I want to say. It was during the Marine Corps ball. Everybody was decked out, but we were all at Heroes. I think after the ball had ended, so everybody kind of went out to the bar that's right there on the pretty much next to the barracks. And I remember I was talking with an officer, man. I was like, I don't know what our unit's doing next, and my time's coming up. So I don't know if I should re-enlist and go to Iraq for a 3rd tour and just, risk being there not doing the job I signed up for, just kind of being bored. Mm-hmm. I just don't know. The unit didn't really, I don't think they knew at the time. This is maybe what was that? November, December of 2008. Yeah, right before I fapped out. I was talking to this guy. He's like, yeah, you gotta, that's something you gotta, that's really something that only you can figure out for yourself. And I was like, shit. Well, I was like, man, I don't know if I want to extend or re-enlist if I'm going to go to Iraq again. But I ended up, I chose, for whatever reason, it was still a year off, or a little less than about a year off, maybe 11 months off before I was getting out. But they wanted us to have that I guess that paperwork done. For some reason, it had to be quick. They wanted you to make your decision. Are you re-enlisting? You getting out? Are you planning on getting out or what? I said, man, I'm 27. I'm still young enough. I guess I can go to school or something. I don't know. I'll find something. I wasn't the biggest planner, I guess, at the time, obviously, but yeah. So he's like, yeah, just something you got to figure out on your own. See, I was a lieutenant, and I was like, yeah, I guess you're right. So, man, it makes sense, but yeah, I figured, I put my family through enough. Anytime I got to talk on the phone, the satellite phone with them during that first tour, something was always happening. Somebody would shoot overhead, or howitzers would be going off, or artillery, mortars, or some shit. I'm like, damn, dude. It's like every time I get on the phone with family or friends, I get a chance. In the phone center, even, boom. It's like, oh shit, damn it. But I just knew they were worried. That was a big decision. That was a big influence on the decision to get out as well. I don't think I could have put them through another one.
Yeah. So you come to your decision. That's it. I'm going to get out. So yeah. What's it like leading up to you going on either terminal leave or just the AISing on that date?
Yeah. So it was very unceremonious. A lot of guys were getting out at different times. We would see guys here and there, ones or twos at a time. They'd be in civvies, we're still in camis, and they're like, all right, man, it's been a hell of a ride, but I gotta go home. So everybody just kind of takes off, and everybody kind of scatters goes back to their hometowns throughout the country. And thank God for social media. Social media is good for one thing, man, and that was, it was kind of starting to kick off then. So we were able to, it was a lot easier to keep in touch, plus, phone numbers and all, but
yeah,
social media was just like an extra conduit to, to those guys. It wasn't easy. I thought it was going to be whatever. I'll go back to doing what I was doing. And I thought about it. I was like, no, I don't want to just go back to what I was doing before I joined. That'd be going backwards,
Yeah.
It was a rough transition. I fell into drinking a lot. Didn't know what I was going to do. My dad kind of kicked me in the ass. He's like, dude, they're going to pay you to go to school. Do that, GI Bill. You'll get paid to go to school and learn something. I was like, damn, you know what? You're right. That's what I did, man. Got out and I used the GI Bill. Went for psychology. I got a 2-year degree in that. I was working on that third year, got through it, and then that's when I had my daughter. And I was working at the post office at the time as well, so it was kind of rough, man, to keep up. Waking up at 2 a.m. and then trying to keep my eyes open for more periods of instruction. But
yeah,
I had to let all the professors, the instructors and all them know that if you see me like nodding off, it's not because I'm very much I was very much interested in psychology, but I'm dog tired. And I explained my situation. They're like, it's fine. Can I stand in the back of the class if I start falling out? If you see me standing back there, that's what I'm doing. It's perfectly fine. So sometimes I would have to do that, man.
So let's go ahead and fast forward 4 years. What's that, 2013? What is life like for you during that time?
In 2013, I got married the year before. So I was going to the gym. I met her at the gym. She's my ex-wife at the gym, and we hit it off pretty quickly, and everything happened fast. Like the Marine Corps, man, everything happened fast. It was one of those if you know kind of thing. We hit it off. I think in less than a year of actually knowing each other and being with each other is when we got engaged. So February of 12. Yeah, February of 12, it was whenever we got married, and that same year in December when we had the little one. So yeah, man, but a lot of it before then was, when I was on my own, I was kind of like just doing just school and like drinking and shit. And I've always loved the gym. I'd be inconsistent with it, but I'd be in the gym inconsistently, probably pointlessly, because I'd get done with the gym, get home, clean up, and then go out and drink at a bar all night. Like you're kind of just setting yourself back there with that progress. You're wasting time in the gym. That actually became an issue, man. Even just up to on the 12th of this month here in a few days, it'll be 3 years since I stopped drinking. So
Congratulations, brother.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I had to. Drinking was one of those things where I couldn't just have like a few at brunch or something like that with the family. Everybody gets up and goes home, and I'm still there. I'm like, no, I'm cool. I'm gonna finish my drink. Then I'd have like 5 more, or then go get bored of that bar, go down the road to the next one, and just close it down, man. 5 or 6 in the morning is when I was getting home.
And did you connect the drinking with what you had gone through during your time in the Marine Corps?
Yeah, for sure. It was always it wasn't anything that would have happened to me or could have happened to me while I was over there. Like I'll say it to this day, I could have been shot, whatever. It wouldn't bother me. I've those things, not a second thought. I don't even give them a second thought. I mean, I've seen stuff that people are not supposed to see. Decomposing human beings, smelled them, flies from them bouncing off of me and shit. I mean, it's pretty grotesque kind of shit. Been shot at, felt explosions, those things out of anger, and discontent for anything, Western. Yeah, that's those things I don't give them a second thought. It's only about the guys that we lost, who didn't make it back home, and guys who got wounded. It's about the others. It was never about me. But anytime I mean, that's every day. It's every single day. That I've just accepted that'll be with me every single day, and that's just how it is. But I guess the way I'm thinking of it, the way I've thought about it here the last few years is that those Marines who didn't come home, they wouldn't want us to live all sad, and they wouldn't want us to be depressed. They'd want us to live a life that they would approve of and that they would be proud of. And that's I've taken that with me the last few years and just kind of ran with it. I don't miss drinking. I don't regret stopping drinking, and it's given me a lot of clarity. I don't have that fog anymore, and just feel good overall, man.
Congratulations once again to going on 3 years sober.
Thank you, man.
So what are you up to now?
I've been at the post office, man, since 2012. So I got a career in a nice retirement building there. It's not bad, man. The pay is pretty good for the area too. So
yeah, I mean, it's a government position. I think you can apply your 4 years in service to retirement, right? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you can buy that time back. So yeah, man, it's just like 4 years closer, Yeah, so I'm just working towards retirement now, man. So I can just go to the gym.
How did your military service shape your values and perspective on life?
I think the biggest thing is that the biggest takeaway, the greatest life lesson, if you want to call it that, is knowing that nothing is really absolute. Like, somebody always has it worse. Nothing bad, things that are bad even, last forever. Things can get tough. Things can get really hard. But you choose how you react to it. You choose how you react to those things. You can't control everything that goes on around you. You can't control everything that might happen to you, but you can choose. You have every avenue to control what your reaction will be. Things can always be worse, and I feel like I've been through pretty significant life altering events, but I don't look at them as things that broke me or anything. Man, it's the super old cliche, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That whole thing. War and divorce. I think I've been through the ringer with life altering events. but I don't have any, I don't have any regrets. I don't have any, and again, man, I think with the drinking, it just helped me with the clarity. The perspective is it's so much different now. I just look at them as things that happen. They happen. It's in the past. I can't change anything. The only thing I can do is try to live well for others around me, for others who are not here. I got outside of myself. I stopped being so inward. I think that's one of the most rewarding things in life is whenever you can genuinely get outside yourself and concern yourself with other people around you, the ones you love, even strangers, man. If you're not so inward, everything that comes to you just feels more gratifying.
How are you coping with? I'm going to tiptoe around this as well.
No, you're good. You're good.
How are you dealing with the PTSD with your 2 tours in Iraq? What helps you get through all that experience that you have gone through?
Again, I think the biggest thing was not making it about myself. I owe it to those guys who didn't make it back to live a life that they would approve of, that they would be proud of. If I did it any other way, to me, it'd be selfish. That's just how I feel. I don't know if that may be the truth, but that's just how I feel. I feel like I would just be selfish, man, if I wallowed in it, because these guys, they stayed 19, 21, 26, 27 years old forever. They didn't have a chance to grow older like we are now. I think just being sad all the time and wallowing in it and going through life that way, man, would just be to cheat their sacrifice.
Yeah.
To cheat what they did, and they gave everything. It's okay. I mean, it's okay to. I mean, there's going to be days where I might have a day where I just need to take a couple of minutes. Maybe if I have to cry or something, whatever, fine. But I'm not gonna let it make me become a disappointment to them and to the ones I love and to the ones that I've essentially made a promise to. Like, yeah, I'm done drinking. I'm never gonna drink again. I will live a peaceful life. I think that's the best way to go about it. For me, it was to get outside of myself.
Yeah.
Stop making it about me. Don't be so inward. With everything in life, My daughter, I've told her before, she saved my life. She doesn't even realize it. She has no idea. And she's even asked me, Dad, what do you mean? Like, I saved your life? Yeah, baby. You'll get it later on. You'll get it. You don't have to worry about understanding now. Just know that. Of course, she gives me like all the purpose that I could ever need or desire.
Yeah.
She's everything for me.
Yeah, the kids will do that to you, and it puts things in perspective.
Yeah.
They do. I mean, just the minute you hold them for the first time in your arms.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, shit just changed. And I had no clue fucking 5 minutes ago that this was going to happen to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Is there anything you would have done differently during your time in the Corps?
Probably not, man. No, I think I made lifelong brothers, man, and I mean, if I did have my way, all those guys would be here today. That's the only thing I would change. That everybody came back, nobody got hurt, but that'd be the only thing. But I know that's not possible. Man, I don't think I would change a thing. It was an extraordinary honor of mine to have been able to be a part of that brotherhood.
Do you have any words of encouragement, advice, motivation for future Marines or Marines currently in service?
Yeah, chin up, head down, man. Don't get shot. Do what if you're gonna be in the fighting hole, man. Nah, no, man. Just, honestly, some guys, and this is gonna sound like bullshit, man, but like a lot of the guys, they just want to get their 4 years done and be out of it, be done with it. But man, my suggestion, looking back now, enjoy every damn moment. With your brothers, they're the best friends that you're ever gonna have in your entire life. Enjoy every single moment, and dude, even if you're miserable, You're there with each other. It's shared hardship. Take that and run with it and know what you're a part of, It's an extraordinary lineage. Being a Marine it's 250 years old, and there's
Yep.
and when they say the few, there's not many of us. There really isn't. It's something to really be proud of, and should take that and run with it for everything it's worth. It's extraordinary. It really is.
Raw.
Raw.
Do you have any words for Marine Corps veterans that are currently out in the civilian field?
Yeah, call your brothers. Get a hold of them. I know a lot of guys. Some guys adjust really well. They thrive, and that's great, man. I know a lot of us. When we get out, we're like, damn, I can't find this anywhere else. I definitely, the hat that I'm wearing, I don't know if you can see it. It's Simplifying America's Fun.
Okay.
But they're an extraordinary unit, or a nonprofit. They're the ones who organize the reunion. They get reunions for all of us. Together.
Really? Okay.
Yep. They'll work with Billy Squires. I believe he was a sergeant major, first sergeant. I don't want to demote him, but he's out there. He runs it. They have a great staff out there, man. Great crew. A lot of a lot of them are prior military Marines as well. And it goes beyond the Marine Corps. It was strictly Marine Corps, but they do it for Army as well now, or for all the branches.
Wow. Okay.
So they get together. Of course, they're on Facebook. They're on all the socials, Facebook and Instagram, that kind of thing. But I would highly suggest maybe thinking about getting with them and setting up a reunion with your guys. It was therapeutic, and it didn't even realize it. That weekend was an amazing weekend. There was a lot. I think there was a lot of weight taken off a lot of shoulders in just that couple of days, man. A lot of guilt was shed. So I highly suggest it, man. If you're a Marine veteran, you want to get with your guys, man. Simplifying America's Fun can do it. They can set up the reunion. You coordinate with them, and they make it easy for you. The only thing they don't pay for is the alcohol. They can't
Fair enough.
Be broke breaking the budget, man.
Right. Is there anything else you would like to plug?
Shamelessly, yes. Mike was just on here. Shaker, the app, it's his networking app that he's got going, man. It's picked up a lot of steam. It's going to be better than LinkedIn. It's already better than LinkedIn. Screw those guys. They'll appreciate that. Yeah, Shaker.
Okay,
yeah,
2Ks, all right.
Yeah, and then Tracy Hunter, she runs a nonprofit called Beyond the Call, and she's on all the socials as well. They get World War II veterans out to their old battlefields, out to events, museums, you name it. She does it for them. She's amazing. Tracy, Scott Gibson, he's affiliated. I think he's now officially a co-director of the nonprofit, if I'm not mistaken. If I demoted you, Scotty, I apologize, but he's another great guy. He was he's an actor. He was on the Pacific. He played Captain Haldane, Ack, in that series. He's very big with veterans. He became friends with Mike and I, and he calls us assholes and all that stuff. So
that's fucking awesome.
Cool. Yeah. Great. It's a couple of amazing friends, amazing people doing endless, tireless work, very selfless for the veterans. World War II specifically, but for all of us. Yeah, man, just those three really: Simplifying America's Fun, Shaker, and Beyond the Call as I think my biggest plugs.
All right. Neal Fauver with Tales from the Corps. Thank you so much for joining us on Chat 62 today.
Thank you so much for having me, Eric, brother. I appreciate it, man. It's been an honor.
That's where we're going to wrap up the story of Marine Corps veteran Neal Fauver. Across these 3 episodes, Neal shared his story from a young Marine eager to prove himself, to the realities of combat in Iraq, and ultimately, the lasting impact those experiences carried long after the uniform came off. In this final chapter, Neal spoke openly about transition, loss, PTSD, fatherhood, sobriety, and learning how to not only live for himself, but for those Marines who never made it home. Conversations like this are exactly why Chat 62 exists, to preserve the stories behind the uniforms. the victories, the struggles, the brotherhood, and the humanity that stays with veterans long after service ends. Neal, thank you for your honesty, your vulnerability, and for trusting us with your story. And to everyone over at Tales from the Corps, thank you for continuing the mission of preserving veteran stories and experiences. This has been Marine Corps veteran Neal Fauver on Chat 62. Stay the course and remember, your story matters. Semper Fi. Struggling? You're not weak. You're human. Dial 988, then press 1 for the Veterans Crisis Line. Train support that understands veterans. Stay the course. Thank you, Ozzy. Oof.